Little sister stole my fiancé and even sent me a wedding invitation. Now they're bankrupt and begging me for help. The heavy cream invitation, embossed with gold lettering, felt like a slap in the face. It arrived in the mail, a stark white rectangle mocking me from the kitchen counter, its elegant calligraphy announcing the upcoming nuptials of my little sister, Amelia, and my ex-fiancé, Daniel. I stared at it, the blood draining from my face, a cold dread settling in my stomach. It had been 5 years since the most devastating betrayal of my life, 5 years since my world had imploded, leaving me shattered, adrift in a sea of grief and anger. Amelia, my younger sister by 3 years, had always been the darling of the family, the free spirit, the one who effortlessly charmed everyone she met. I, the older sister, was the responsible one, the studious one, the one who always played by the rules. Growing up, I tried to be the perfect daughter, the perfect sister, the one who never caused trouble, who always excelled in school, who strived to meet our parents' sky-high expectations. Amelia, on the other hand, floated through life on a cloud of charm and impulsiveness, her mistakes easily forgiven, her transgressions quickly forgotten. It was a pattern that had played out through our childhood, a constant source of frustration and resentment. I'd excel in a school play, only to have Amelia steal the spotlight with a last-minute improvised song and dance routine. I'd win a prestigious academic award, only to have Amelia announce her acceptance into a prestigious art school, her talent somehow eclipsing my hard work and dedication. And then there was Daniel. We met in college, his quiet intelligence and dry wit a refreshing counterpoint to the chaotic world of frat parties and all-night study sessions. He proposed on a moonlit beach, the diamond ring, a symbol of our shared dreams and aspirations, sparkling in the moonlight. I'd been ecstatic, my heart overflowing with a love that felt both exhilarating and terrifying in its intensity. I'd finally found someone who saw me, who appreciated me, who loved me for the woman I was, not the image I meticulously crafted to please our parents, the world. Amelia, of course, had been thrilled.
You two are perfect for each other.
She gushed, her eyes sparkling with what I'd assumed was genuine happiness for her older sister. But the truth, as it always did with Amelia, was far more complicated, far more insidious. She hadn't been happy for me. She'd been envious, her desire for the perfect fairytale romance ignited by my own newfound happiness. It started subtly, a lingering touch on Daniel's arm during family gatherings, a whisper of shared laughter that excluded me, a knowing glance that spoke volumes. I brushed it off, telling myself I was being paranoid, that my past experiences with Amelia were clouding my judgment. Then came the night that shattered my world. It was a week before our wedding, a whirlwind of last-minute preparations and pre-wedding jitters. I'd stayed late at work, finalizing details for a major client presentation, my mind racing with to-do lists and seating charts. When I arrived home, the house was eerily silent. I called out for Daniel, my heart skipping a beat when there was no answer. I found them in our bedroom, their bodies entangled on the bed we'd chosen together, the sheets I meticulously picked out now a crumpled testament to their betrayal. The sight of them, their nakedness a brutal violation of everything we'd shared, sent a wave of nausea through me. I wanted to scream, to lash out, to make them feel the pain that was tearing me apart. But the words wouldn't come. I simply stood there, frozen, the world tilting on its axis, the carefully constructed foundation of my life crumbling around me.
I'm sorry, Emily.
Daniel stammered, his face flushed with shame, his eyes darting between me and Amelia, who, to my utter disbelief, looked more defiant than apologetic. Sorry. I choked out, the word a broken whisper in the suffocating silence.
We love each other, Amelia said, her voice surprisingly firm, her gaze meeting mine with a chilling lack of remorse.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My own sister, the one person who was supposed to love and support me, had stolen the man I loved, had shattered my dreams, had ripped my heart out and stomped on it with callous disregard. I fled then, the image of their betrayal seared into my brain, the sound of their whispers, their laughter, echoing in the hollow chambers of my heart. The months that followed were a blur of grief, anger, and a bone-deep loneliness that threatened to consume me. I threw myself into work, finding solace in the demands of my career, the spreadsheets and deadlines a welcome distraction from the agonizing pain of my broken heart. I cut off contact with Amelia and Daniel, refusing to engage in their charade of remorse, their attempts to justify their actions, to paint themselves as victims of circumstance. They deserved each other, I thought bitterly, their toxic blend of selfishness and entitlement a recipe for disaster. I moved on, rebuilding my life piece by fragile piece. I channeled my pain into my work, my ambition burning brighter than ever before. I climbed the corporate ladder, my intelligence and dedication finally recognized, my success a testament to my resilience, my refusal to be defined by heartbreak. And then I met Michael. He was kind, patient, and truly saw me, beyond the walls I'd erected to protect myself from further hurt. He didn't judge my past, didn't shy away from my scars. He loved me, flaws and all, his love a slow, steady burn that thawed the ice around my heart, reminding me that I was worthy of love, of happiness, of a future that didn't include the ghosts of my past. We married a year later, our wedding a quiet, intimate affair, a celebration of a love that was genuine, grounded, a world away from the fairy tale fantasies Amelia had so desperately craved. We had two beautiful children, their laughter filling our home with a joy that chased away the shadows of my past. My life, once a shattered mosaic, had been painstakingly reassembled, the pieces were arranged into a new, more vibrant design. And then the invitation arrived. Amelia's wedding invitation, a cruel reminder of the past, a testament to her audacity, her lack of remorse. I stared at it, the years of suppressed anger and hurt welling up inside me. But then a wave of sadness washed over me, not for myself, but for Amelia. The invitation, a glossy facade of perfection, couldn't hide the truth that whispered between the lines. Their business, a trendy boutique they'd opened with my father's reluctant financial backing, had failed, leaving them bankrupt, their dreams in tatters. The carefully curated social media posts, the images of extravagant vacations and designer clothes had been nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion, a desperate attempt to maintain a lifestyle they couldn't afford, a facade that had finally crumbled. A few days later, Amelia appeared on my doorstep, her designer clothes now replaced by faded jeans and a worn-out sweater, her eyes red-rimmed, her carefully applied makeup unable to conceal the years of stress and regret. Q1.
Emily,
She whispered, her voice choked with emotion.
I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But we're desperate. Daniel's lost his job. The business is gone. And we're about to lose our home.
She looked at me, her eyes pleading, her carefully cultivated confidence replaced by a raw vulnerability that disarmed me.
We need your help, Emily. Please. I'm begging you.
I stared at her, my heart a tangled mess of conflicting emotions, anger, pity, a weary resignation. A part of me wanted to slam the door in her face, to unleash the years of pent-up fury, to tell her exactly where she could shove her apologies. But another part of me, the part that remembered the little girl who'd follow me around, who craved my attention, who, despite her flaws, was still my sister, wouldn't let me. I knew deep down that this wasn't about forgiveness, not really. It was about survival, about two people who had made a series of bad choices, their lives now imploding around them. Come in, Amelia, I said, my voice weary, the years of anger softening around the edges. Let's talk. We sat in my kitchen, the smell of freshly baked cookies a stark contrast to the tension that hung heavy in the air. I listened as she poured out her story, her voice cracking with shame, her carefully crafted facade crumbling, revealing the fear, the desperation, the regret that had been simmering beneath the surface. She admitted that she'd always envied me, my drive, my success, my seemingly effortless ability to create a life filled with love and stability. She confessed that her relationship with Daniel had been built on a foundation of insecurity, of a desperate need to prove herself, to finally outshine me. And now their carefully constructed world of appearances, of fleeting validation, had come crashing down, leaving them facing the harsh reality of their choices.
I know I don't deserve your help,
she whispered, her gaze meeting mine with a flicker of genuine remorse.
But please, Emily, I'm begging you, for the sake of the kids.
The kids, Daniel and Amelia, had two young children, innocent victims of their parents' mistakes. And as I looked at my sister, her face etched with lines of worrying and regret, I realized that my anger, my desire for revenge, was ultimately futile. It wouldn't erase the past, wouldn't bring back the years I'd lost, wouldn't heal the wounds that ran deep. I couldn't forgive her, not yet, but I could offer her a lifeline, a chance to rebuild, to learn from her mistakes, to create a better life for herself, for her children. I'll help you, Amelia, I said, my voice firm, my decision made. But not for you. It's for the kids and for Dad. He wouldn't want to see his grandchildren suffer. I helped them find a smaller, more affordable home, secured a job for Daniel at a friend's construction company, and enrolled their children in a reputable daycare. I offered them financial support, not as a handout, but as a loan, a chance to regain their footing, to rebuild their lives on a foundation of hard work and responsibility. It wasn't easy. The years of resentment, of betrayal couldn't be erased overnight. But as I watched Amelia interact with her children, her face softened with genuine love and a newfound appreciation for the simple joys of family, I realized that forgiveness, while a long and arduous journey, was ultimately a gift, not just for the recipient, but for the giver. It freed me from the shackles of the past, allowed me to let go of the anger, the bitterness, the need to punish her, to prove my own worth. It allowed me to move forward, to embrace the happiness I'd found with Michael and our children, a happiness that wasn't defined by Amelia's choices, by the ghosts of our shared past. And sometimes, as I watch my children playing in the backyard, their laughter echoing through the warm summer air, I'd think about Amelia, about the path she'd chosen, the lessons she learned, the woman she was becoming. I couldn't condone her actions, couldn't forget the pain she had caused. But I could choose compassion, could offer a helping hand, could acknowledge that even in the midst of betrayal, even when faced with the consequences of our own mistakes, there was always hope, always the possibility of redemption, always the chance to rebuild, to start again, to find a measure of peace, a fragile, imperfect happiness in the messy tapestry of life.